Hello there, you're welcome to another video on the Uga Magic Football channel. And on today's video, I'll be talking about Reece James back to his best. And also giving some insight from, or rather getting some insight from what Fabrizio Romano had to say when he quoted Reece James. So let's dive right into it. So, but just before I go in, just know that there'll be a video for the review of Zimbabwe versus Nigeria coming up today. So keep your eyes peeled on that one. So smash the like button and subscribe to this channel. Let's go into it. So Reece James, he's been out injured for a while and only recently been part of the team. Played against Man City, played against, I think, played against Man City. I think he played against previous opponents as well. And though he didn't quite finish the game, he I think came off against, was it 63rd or 65th minute of the game. And then Malo Gusto came on board. So, and that has proven, that's one I want to say as well. That's proven to be a master stroke by the board and those in charge of the recruitment at Chelsea to get Malo Gusto in. He is not only a competent backup for Reece James, but actually someone that can compete with Reece James. And he has been very good while he's played. And it seems a bit unfair to have him on the bench the moment you have Reece James available. So I'll just read this tweet and I'll have it on the screen here for you. So it says from Fabrizio Romano, Reece James, I haven't felt this good in a long time. I'm sure I definitely feel my strength and fitness building up again. My body gave me a warning, but I didn't listen in the past. Now um, I'm more aware. Now when something is screaming, slow down a bit. And that's fair use. That's called growing up, Mr. Reece James. That's called growing up and getting mature and being in tune with your body. So it's nice to see that Reece James is actually feels he's back to his best. And I think he's back to his best. You can agree with the games as well. But it's also more important to note that he's beginning to sort of learn to listen to his body while he plays, because that's something I've always had, not quite against Reece James, but I've always seen as an issue, because each time he would get injured, he would get back on the pitch, and he would go full throttle. Full throttle. We as fans would love to see that. Would love to see a player giving his all, going 110% if needs be. But sometimes what happens is that causes an injury to reoccur, because the recurrence of an injury, and then you see him being out for 3 months, 4 months, or for the entirety of the remainder of the season. So it's glad to see that he's back. In the game versus Man City, you could see that he was really, really very good. Got the assist for Raheem Sterling's goal. So that was brilliant. And we hope to see this going forward into the coming games, starting from the Newcastle game. I think that's an away game, at St. James's Park. So Regent back to his best, and I'm happy that he's back. And I'm sure you're happy he's back as well. And like I said, it's a bit unfair that Malo Gusto sort of plays second fiddle to Reece James, but it's good to have him as well, because it's something we sort of noticed during the Man City game, and I said to myself, that's a good thing to have, which is Reece James was taken off in 65th minute, and then Malo Gusto came on. In times past, you never would have had that. Reece James would have had to play the entire game, or you would have had Apliqueta, who fed used to him as that fed used to him his sort of ability, his sort of legs started to fail him. So what you would have would be a drop off in terms of athleticism, in terms of pace, on the right hand side. So that's a good thing to have Malo Gusto. So glad to see we have Malo Gusto, and even happier to see Reece James is back to his best. Now let's go straight into the second topic, that is UEFA's FFP. Now it's no news about Man City's point deduction. It's no news that the Premier League as well is investigating Man City, you know, um, in regards to some charges relating to FFP, and Chelsea also have some investigations they have to face themselves. I think they self-reported themselves due to some payments. They say Roman under Roman's rule, Roman's administration, certain payments were made that were not quite on the up and up. Now, I'm not going to go the route where everyone is going, which has been the sanctimonious route, which seems to be the nature of football, sort of analysis, narrative, discussion, journalism, whatever you choose to call it. That seems to be the route everyone is going to. Everyone sort of wants to judge, and then you have people so tribal. And that's the beauty of football. It's very tribal. You have Arsenal fans wanting Chelsea to lose. You want Spurs wanting Chelsea. You have Spurs fans wanting Arsenal to liquidate. You have Man United wanting Man City to lose. But then there's some things you have to step out from your tribal block and think. Now, for me, I've always been of the opinion that FFP isn't all it's been sort of cracked up to be. So it's been cracked up to be this sort of elixir, this sort of regulation put in place by the football governing bodies, by the powers that be, to ensure clubs don't go, you don't have insolvency, to ensure that clubs remain sustainable and all that good stuff. But for me, I strongly feel, I'm not saying there's some evidence, I want you to make your own opinion for yourself, but I strongly feel it was brought into place to maintain the power and dominance of certain teams. That's my feeling. That's my personal opinion. It was brought into place to ensure certain teams, your Bayern Munich's, your Real Madrid's, your Barcelona's, your Man United's, remain sort of where they are. Because who thought about FFP when Real Madrid every season? I'm old enough to remember when Real Madrid each season would break their transfer record. Each season, Real Madrid would break a transfer record until Chelsea came on stream, Abramovich came on stream, and started to affect the landscape of things. And then everyone started going on about FFP. Now, for me, if the intention is to ensure that you don't have people coming over, as in you don't have investors coming into clubs to own clubs just for the money, and then invest a little money, take some money out of it, and then leave the club in dire straits, or leave the club in a turbulent or difficult financial situation and mosey off. Then what you would have to do, or a regulation that would have been in place would have been one that would sort of tie the assets of these directors, of these ownership groups to the club. You could have something like, say, a hazard fund or a peril fund, which in essence would be, if you're leaving a club, if you're leaving ownership of a club, you would ensure that that club is not left in debt, that the actions can be held against your personal assets, or assets not tied to the club, to ensure that you pay for what you're taking up for. You pay those debts before you leave this club, before you leave control of that club. That would have been what it is. Because how many businesses have you seen where an owner says, okay, I'm going to sell my house. Yeah, I have a business. It's in trouble. I will sell my house and use the funds from selling my house to ensure that business stays in business, if you get what I mean. And how many such businesses would you have someone say, oh, that's so wrong of you. Oh, that's wrong of you. Stop it. Don't do that. Not one business except football. Except football. So those are the things we see. And then you have the Glazers at Manchester United who, take money out of the club, plunging the club into debt, into indebtedness, and yet they're good. Now, UEFA Premier League, you have the right to enforce your FFP any way you like it. But for me, I feel it is an immoral regulation. Now we have in time past we've seen laws that on the face of it they are legal because people passed it into brought it into power, and that's what it's meant to govern people. It's legal, but it's immoral. For instance, you've had laws that prevented women from voting in time past. You've had laws in time past that prevented black people from owning properties. Those were laws, they were legitimate laws, but they were immoral, and at some point they had to overturn them. So that's my opinion about FFP. FFP is legal and people should sort of obey and adhere to it, but it doesn't make it right, in my opinion. And then let's go to the Everton ruling, right? Now, the Premier League, the FFP body or whatever, this is what they said. They said, as part of the sort of judgment, they said no sporting advantage was gained because I think Everton had a loss of 19 million, I think. They were 19 million above the threshold, 90 million pounds above the loss threshold. So the Premier League, the FFP, Premier League FFP stated their own statement. You can check it up, make an opinion for yourself. Agree with me or disagree. In fact, leave that in the comment section and let's know. They said no sporting advantage was gained. Then, if no sporting advantage was gained, then why? However, why is Everton? Why is there that 13, that 10 points, 10 points deduction? Why? Because you say no sporting advantage was gained, but you are now enforcing a sporting disadvantage on Everton. If it's purely financial, why not fine Everton, say 25 million? You're 90 million pounds above the required threshold, the required loss, the provided loss threshold, 90 million pounds over it. You have to make sure for that, we're going to fix a financial sort of reprimand, sanction to ensure you keep in line. So when you have this burden of paying this amount in the future, you would then be more keen, be more observant, how keep your eyes more on the books and ensure you don't fall into that loss. But rather what you have now is no sporting advantage was gained by Everton via the Premier League's own statement. No sporting advantage was gained, but yet you're putting the club in a sporting disadvantage. And now, as usual, what you have rival fans, because we are all tribal, say, oh, Everton should go down, or Chelsea as well should go down, even if the cases are different. Some people coming on the Sun, yeah, the always accurate and credible Sun, Chelsea would be relegated, Man City would be relegated. You have fans coming up to say this club should be stripped of their titles and all that. Why? And doing all this without looking at what their clubs are doing. Your clubs are the owners of your clubs are running your clubs into the ground, and you are busy heckling at other clubs. So sometimes it's good to step out from the tribal sort of landscape where it's me versus you, your club versus my club, and look at it for what it is. FFP is legal. You could even say it's legitimate, but it is immoral, in my opinion. Because look at what, like I said, look at what's happening in Manchester United. You have an ownership that sucks money, sucks funds out of the club. And then you have owners that are willing to reach into their personal resources, their personal funds, if that's indeed the case, to fund their clubs, to ensure their clubs stay afloat, to ensure their clubs stay competitive. But yet, that is a problem. What does that tell you? That tells you that this FFP is meant to preserve the old boys, because what they know is they may not have deep pockets as this other new breeds coming up, this new breed of owners owning the Chelseas, owning the Man Cities and all. So what do? We restrain their ability, or we restrict their ability to reach out to access resources that they have. So once we restrict that, then we can now have them tied closer to us and ensure we are on the same level or we are above them. We've seen this time and time again. People are able to affect policy, and then when they're able to affect policy, they profit from it while others suffer from it. So I don't want to go into too much legalese. So at this point, I think I've come to the end of today's video. So let me know what you think. Do you think Reece James is back to his best and you're happy to see him in the season as we go into the Newcastle game, or would you prefer Malagustos to start? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, let me know what you think about FFP. Do you think it's sort of the best thing ever since sliced bread was made? Let me know. If you think I'm just wrong, you think FFP is like, yeah, it's the best thing ever, let me know in the comment section, because on this channel, I agree. We can agree to disagree. We can have divergent, different opinions. I don't like my opinion better than yours, but I just feel my opinion. I feel I have the right to my opinion, and you definitely, for sure, 1000% have the right to your opinion. So please like and subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell so you know each time I go live and when I post a video on the channel. Also, keep your eyes peeled on this channel for the review of the World Cup qualifying game that saw Zimbabwe versus Nigeria play this past game day. So see you on that video, and do have a splendid rest of your day. Bye.